evening, Cherries fans, and welcome to Up the Cherries in all departments. Tonight we have Ben Cooper on. He's an AFC Bournemouth youth team coach, a former youth team player. But before we get started, let's hear a bit from our sponsors, Dental on the Banks. To find out what they can do for you, visit them on their website, dentalonthebanks.co.uk. So tonight I'm joined by my friend, Martin. He's a lifelong New Milton Town fan, and you may ask why he's on the channel, but Ben Cooper currently plays for New Milton. So enjoy the video. Hi Ben, how are you today?
Yeah, very well, Chris. Very well, thanks, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. And thanks for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Looking forward to it.
Cool, good, lovely. So Ben, tell us about your earliest memories of football.
Well, earliest memories of playing football would have been under eights, under nines. I remember playing for a little grassroots side, playing with some friends that I still play with now and get on well now with elsewhere in Bournemouth and Poole. So yeah, that was probably my earliest memories.
Yeah, cool. What teams were you playing for at those sort of ages?
So I played for a little team called Heathlands up in Branksome way.
Okay.
And I was there from under nines to probably under 11s, I'd say.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my earliest memory.
Fair enough. And while you were a kid and growing up, what team did you support?
I was a Gooner. Always an
Arsenal fan
through and through. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Poor you.
Yeah. Exactly. No, my old man's family are North London way, so.
Fair enough.
Family, so
I suppose was that the time when the Invincibles were around, or were you a bit young for that? Maybe.
I was a tad young, so I was born in '98. So the first real Arsenal game I remember watching was the 2006 Champions League final.
Oh, okay.
That's the first proper memory, or the semi-final before with Real Madrid.
Fair play. And who was in that sort of starting lineup in those years? Probably like was Lehman the goalkeeper then?
Yeah, Lehman, Campbell, Toure. It would have been Ashley Cole. I can't remember the right back. Maybe Lauren. And then you had your Fabregas, you had your Gilberto Silva, yeah, Alexander Hleb, Omri, Bergkamp, those sort of players.
Yeah, some proper legends of the game there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The good old days.
Wiltshire just broken into the team then, or was that maybe a couple of years later?
A couple of years later, yeah.
He was a great player. They won at youth level.
Oh,
when he came through, he was unbelievable. And he could have. Shame his injuries took a grip of him, because he would have been like a major force even at this age, wouldn't
he? Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So, as a youth player, you played for Southampton Academy, is that right?
Yeah. So I had an unsuccessful trial at Southampton where I was there for about 6 months' time.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, after sort of grassroots, I was picked up and offered a trial at Saints in Portsmouth, and I chose Saints at the time.
Good choice.
Good choice, yeah. So no, I was unsuccessful with the trial there, and then after my unsuccessful trial, not too much longer after, I was picked up by Bournemouth.
Okay.
And had a successful trial where I signed at under 14s, and I was there up until I was 18.
Cool. So tell us a bit about the time there, and how was that around doing your schooling and stuff?
Yeah, phenomenal. Loved it. It's every boy's dream to play for a professional club, if you like, and play football every day and train and work hard. No, I loved it. So in terms of school-wise, so when I was 16, I was given a scholarship. So that meant that we trained every day, and then on a Thursday we'd study a BTEC and an MVQ. So this was after GCSEs. And yeah, I passed with flying colours in terms of my education side. Never really got in the way. And the other nice thing back in the academy days was we'd have what's called day release. So on a Thursday we'd have the day off school to go and train and do homework at lunchtime, if you like. So
cool.
Yeah.
In the age group you were playing for at Bournemouth, what sort, any sort of big name Bournemouth players come out of that group?
Big name. Well, I'd say the biggest name that probably came through, and he's now at Forest, is Sam Surridge.
Oh, really? Yeah, good.
Probably the big one. A couple of lads that are still playing in League One and League Two, and then there's a lot that play in the National League now.
Yeah.
Like your Matt Worthingtons and your Ollie Harfields and players like that. But yeah, some really good players that came through.
Could you always tell that Sam Surridge was always going to make it, like as a, into the Premier League as a pro? Is he always a great finisher?
Yeah, I think so. It was the going above and beyond, I think, what set Sam apart from everyone else. Training elsewhere and doing extra bits when everyone was at home, or being first out to training and last back in. Definitely made a difference.
Fair enough. Did you come up against any players that have gone on to make it in your time as well?
Yeah, I came up against a few. I remember being embarrassed by Chelsea in a pre-season friendly, and Mason Mount played as the 8 for the opposition, really? And he made us look very silly that day, very silly. So he'd probably be the standout, I'd say.
Wow,
that I played against.
Fair play. And in your time in the Bournemouth youth team, what was the best stadium you played at?
Best stadium? Oh well, the best stadium. Well, I'd probably say, in terms of the actual surface, the Vitality is definitely up there, or Dean Court, as it was definitely up there in terms of surface. In terms of size, we played at Oldham.
Oh yeah,
it was big old ground. I can't remember the exact attendance. That was in a youth cup game. Yeah, that was probably the biggest, I'd say.
Yeah, cool. Fair enough. So moving on to like the end of your Bournemouth career, when you found out you weren't unfortunately going to be offered a pro contract, how did that feel?
Tough.
Yeah.
You give a lot of time up, and obviously the discipline and not being able to go out and socialise as much, and having to be so strict with your diet and looking after your body, and then sort of to have all of that and then not quite be considered good enough was tough. But I think if I'm brutally honest with myself, I don't think I was good enough at the time anyway. I saw the players around me that were getting pros, and I could sort of see that there was a level in quality between us. So
fair enough. What did you do when you left Bournemouth? What was your next steps in your career? So
as soon as I was released, I knew I had to find a job, basically, get into full-time employment and find out what I wanted to do with my life. And obviously the most obvious progression from playing is coaching, right?
Yeah.
So whilst I was playing, I was already doing a little bit of grassroots coaching with my father's team. So my dad used to run a little grassroots team called Branksome, where I'd go and coach them in the evenings and sort of give back my knowledge, if you like.
Okay.
And I knew I wanted to take it further. So what I wanted to do was go and work abroad and have an opportunity to travel and take some time out to myself at the same time. So what I decided to do was work out in America. So I worked at a soccer camp.
Oh, wow.
where I coach kids from 9 to 15, soccer, as they call out there. And yeah, so that was me when I left. So I did that. I coached out there for about 2 months, and then I travelled coast to coast after for about 3 months after, which was a blast. And then came back. Knew I was still wanted to coach, so I spoke to the club about any coaching opportunities, and they gave me a job straight away.
That's great. So, in your time at the coming back to Bournemouth, what does your role entail basically? What do you do in the coaching role?
So I work across two different sectors at the club. My main role is working with the college group. So I coach 16 to 19-year-old boys and girls that come in through the Community Sports Trust into us that will study after their GCSEs, will study the equivalent to A-levels. They'll do a BTEC, and then they'll train in the afternoon with us, and then they'll have a weekly fixture on a Wednesday against other professional outfits in the area. And then my second sector of work is I work in the academy. So I coach the under-11s at the moment. And I do that twice a week in the evenings, and then I take them on a Sunday morning for a game. And that could be anywhere as well. So,
okay, cool. For that to do this role, do you have to study, or have you got your badges, or do you have to?
Yeah, so I got my badges. I got my first coaching badge as part of my scholarship. So when I was 16, as part of the scholarship, and it was that you do your level 2 in football coaching.
Yeah.
And I sort of, through that qualification, was granted access to my job. And then I always wanted to go a little bit more and push myself at that extra level to open up more opportunities and to sort of advance myself more by doing the AFCB license, which I completed about 12 months ago now, just after COVID. Excuse me. And yeah, the plan is to get settled for a little while. My partner and I have just bought a property, so we're a little bit short in terms of money. So we'll look into paying for my A license in the future and maybe my pro license as years go on.
Cool. So. Oh, mate, that's amazing. So, in your time in the role in the community role, have you had any success in that role? Have you like won any tournaments or won anything? Or
yeah. So when I was it's 2 years ago. I took my group of first team players. So we have 3 squads, and I take the first team. We have other 2 and 3 team coaches, and our first team was successful in the National Youth Football Alliance tournament, which was throughout the season fixtures, and we played everybody twice, and yeah, we came out on top, which was a proud moment for myself and the rest of the group involved, staff and players.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, how many games do you have to play in that tournament, for instance?
So it's like a league table format. So it was, what was it, 10 sides in the 10 sides. So you played everyone twice. So what's that? It's 18 games, isn't it? So
yeah. Wow, that's pretty good. Yeah, well done.
An impressive season. Thank you.
Yeah, good. So moving on to your non-league career. So obviously you've spent a long time at Milton Town. You must be enjoying your time at Fawcett's Field, and as you've stayed there a long time.
Yeah, I love it. I came as part of a young group a few years back with Pat Wilson, who's a very close friend of mine, who was the manager. And I'd obviously been let go by Bournemouth. I was playing elsewhere, and I just felt like I needed to be liked again and enjoy my football again. So it was nice to come over with a friend, and obviously current club captain Aaron Scott is still with me now, and Aaron's a very close personal friend of mine, so that's always nice. And yeah, it's such a community-based club. You know, we give back to you guys as fans, and I think we put a couple of really good seasons together now, and hopefully looking to improve even more this season.
Yeah, definitely. Martin, did you want to add anything to that?
No, not really. It's good.
Okay, fair enough. So, in your time at New Milton, you've played in various positions and roles. What's your favourite position to play in?
Favourite role? I'd probably say as one of the 2 attacking midfielders in the system that we play. Either an 8 or 10, but like you said, I've played 7, 9, 11, 8 and 10. Can do all 5 if you like. So
you play.
You ever played in goal?
Not for New Milton, no. Played in goal as a youngster though, as a little one.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So going back to the limits.
Yeah.
Is there anyone in the dressing room that you don't want to mess with?
I don't want to mess with a new one.
Yeah.
Oof. Who's the hard ones in the team? I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of a good mate, Luke Stone. I'll tell you that.
Oh, no.
No, I wouldn't get on his wrong side for sure.
I agree. I wouldn't either. The ultras are doing a good job. The kids that come to bang their drums and that, they give the players a lift, don't they?
Yeah, they love it, and we really appreciate all the support and the noise they make. Bless them. So no, it's good. Good group of young lads.
Any hopes for the new season?
Hopes for the new season. Well, on a personal level, to get myself back playing every week, it'd be nice to commit a little bit more. And from a team point of view, definitely go and get promoted. I think there's got to be the ambition for the club.
Yeah, last season was quite positive. They thought, didn't they? Finishing 9th and having a good cup run, but hopefully this year improve on that.
Yeah, for sure. The Vars run was so successful, and you look at the other clubs around us that were unable to match that feat. It was just not being able to match that form with the league form, unfortunately.
No, they did dip for a few games, didn't they?
Yeah, for sure. But I put that right this year.
Yeah. And I see half of the current squad have re-signed, so that's good, including yourself.
Yeah, a lot of the current squad have re-signed. And hopefully I'll see a few more faces before the season starts as well.
Yeah. Hopefully get the attendance up a bit as well.
Yeah, of course. That's what we want to try
and
and do.
For the money. How was the Portugal trip?
Yeah, it was great fun.
Cool. So, with everything you've talked about, what do you feel the biggest match you've ever been involved in is, either as a player or a coach?
The biggest match I've ever been involved with, from a playing point of view, when I was 18, so I was playing out on loan at Tottenham, AFC Tottenham.
Okay.
And at the time, Hereford United had been relegated down due to financial problems into the same league. Okay. So I had the opportunity to play at Hereford in front of 4,000 fans, which was just nuts, basically, absolutely nuts. I mean, we got smashed. I think we lost 4-0. But the opportunity to play in front of 4,000 people, definitely a memory that I won't forget for sure.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. So, what other teams have you played for along the way before you got to New Milton then, apart from Tottenham and obviously Bournemouth?
Yeah, so I mean, I've done the works. To be fair, I've done most of the sides down here. So when I was let go, I went to Christchurch, where we won the league under Ollie and Chris. Won the league there, and then I sort of came back, and the opportunity to come to New Milton was obviously there. And then at Bournemouth, whilst I was in my second year, I had the opportunity to go on loan to Milton Town and AFC Tottenham, as you already know. So yeah, that's all the clubs I've played for, I'd say.
Fair enough. Moving on to the Premier League this season, how do you think Bournemouth will get on this season?
I got high hopes for Bournemouth this season.
Yeah.
I think obviously you've got to prioritise staying up as number one. But I look at Scott Parker and the way that we've played football last season and the sort of individual quality that we've got in the squad. I think I got high hopes for him to survive for sure.
Yeah, good. And in general, in the Premier League, who do you reckon is going to win it this season?
I find it hard to look past City at the minute.
Yeah.
Especially with the signings they've brought in and the players they've let go. I think they're going to be quite a formidable force.
Yeah, I'll probably have to side with you on that. To be fair, you can never look beyond City, really. Liverpool give it a go, but
even their B team's pretty good, isn't it? So.
Yeah, definitely.
It is. No, I think, like you said, I think Liverpool will definitely give them a go, but I think they've lost. Losing Mane is a big factor for them. And I think, not as bad as it sounds as an Arsenal fan, I think Tottenham might surprise a few people this season. I thought they've had a really good summer.
What about Manchester United? They're done, aren't they?
It's a strange one, United. It's a strange one. I hope you're right, Martin. I hope they hope they don't do as well as they not. Hope they're done, basically. But yeah, new manager, you never know, do you? So.
Well, going back to Bournemouth again quickly. What do you get to spend any time like speaking with like the people like Scott Parker? Do you see them or?
Not anymore. Not anymore. So
No?
since Scott came in, we've not really had the chance to. There's not really been a massive sort of viewing, if you like, and bridge between the younger kids of the academy and the first team. But definitely when Eddie was in charge and you had the likes of Jason Tyndall and those guys, they were definitely more connected with the academy. Not just so because their boys were involved in the academy, but they definitely came down and looked to give advice and have conversations with coaches, which is very good for us as development for sure.
How do you think? Do you think England's women are going to go on and win the Euro?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I must admit, I haven't watched much of it, but I watched the quarterfinal, the last extra time in the quarterfinal, and they looked impressive in that period of time for sure. I must admit, Chris, I don't know too much about the ladies' game and the teams to beat, etc. But I definitely will watch it from now on, I think.
Yeah, well, yeah. Hopefully they can bring it home. You know, do you know what I mean? Go one step further than the men. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It'd be nice for us to have a trophy to celebrate.
Yeah, exactly, definitely.
But yeah, so Martin, do you have anything to add?
No.
The dog.
I know I'm done.
Bobby does. There we go. So yeah, well, I think that's probably a wrap then. I reckon, guys.
Cheers.
Fantastic.
Yeah, cool. Cheers. Yeah, so yeah, thanks for coming on, Ben.
Oh, you're most welcome. Thank you, Chris. Enjoyed that.
Great to hear about your career, you know, and all the best in your coaching, and hopefully you can go as far as possible with it.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Cool. Cheers. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
See you later, guys.
If you like the video, hit subscribe, hit the bell. You know what to do. Keep your eyes peeled. We've got a couple of more decent videos coming up, some more interviews. Yeah, keep on subscribing. Cheers.